A very good morning to all. Welcome to science class. In the previous class we have learnt about various astronomical objects. Now today we will learn something more. As we all are aware about Earth's rotation and revolution. We know that the sun, moon and the stars are seen to rise in the east and set in the west because the earth rotates from west to east. All this is based on the rotation and revolution of the earth. You can see how the earth rotates from west to east. If we observe carefully, we also notice that stars rise and set 4 minutes earlier every day. That is, if star rises at 8 p.m. tonight, it will rise at 7:56 p.m. tomorrow, 4 minutes earlier. Against the background of stars, the sun and the moon appear to move from west to the east. The sun moving through 1 degree every day and the moon through 12 to 13 degrees. The sun moving is 1 degree and for moon it is 12 to 13. This happens due to the motion of the earth around the sun and that of the moon around the earth. This is all because these astronomical objects keep rotating and revolving around. As we are studying about astronomy, there are some points which we always need to remember. The place for sky watching should be away from the city as far as possible. It should be a new moon light. Binoculars or telescopes should be used for sky watching. Identifying the pole star in the north makes the sky watcher easier. Hence, the pole star should be used as a reference point for sky watch. As the stars in the west set early, sky watching should begin with the stars in the west. As in geographical maps, the east and west are shown to the right and left respectively in the sky map. On the sky map, north and south are towards the bottom and top of the map respectively. This is because the sky map is to be held overhead. These are the do's and don'ts that we need to consider when we are going to do sky watching. As we all know that constellation is a group of stars. A group of stars occupying a small portion of the celestial sphere, that is imaginary sphere, is called constellation. Some of these stars appear to form a certain figures of animals, humans or objects. These figures have been named after certain events or beliefs of the times when the constellations were identified. In this way, Western observers have divided the celestial sphere into 88 constellations. Similarly, ancient Western astronomers put forward the idea of 12 zodiac signs, whereas Indian astronomers suggested 27 nakshatra. Basically, your 12 zodiac signs, we all are aware that in the Indian astronomy, these zodiac signs play a very important role depending upon the birth month. The date and time these zodiac signs are decided. 27 nakshatras are there. Nakshatra is actually the path travelled by the moon. Zodiac sign. The ecliptic has been imagined to be divided into 12 equal parts. Thus each part subtends 30 degrees at the center of celestial sphere. Each of these parts is called a Rashi or a zodiac sign. They are named as Aries, Taurus, Gemini, Cancer, Leo, Virgo, Libra, Scorpio, Sagittarius, Capricorn, Aquarius and Pisces. And this is how the 30 degree you get the entire total circle 360 divided by 12 parts. You can see how these are resembled in a circle. Each section shows the each zodiac sign we have. So total we have 12 zodiac signs. The moon nakshatra. The moon completes one revolution around the earth approximately 27.3 days. The portion traversed by the moon in one day is called a nakshatra. So if we divide 360 degree into 27 equal part, each part is about 13 degree and 20 minutes. A nakshatra is known from the brightest star that it contains. So this is how, when you look at the Hindus, when they arrange a function, they have that tithi and the correct time. It's based upon these nakshatras. The brightest star is called Yogatra. Which nakshatra we can see during the sky watch depends upon the position of the earth along its orbit. Yogatara is the brightest star. Keep in mind, brightest star is Yogatara. Now, besides the zodiac signs and nakshatras, we are going to see some more constellations. Getting to know some more constellations, you can look in the diagram. Saptarishi or Great Bear. During summer nights, one can see a particular arrangement of 7 stars. We call them Saptarishi. In the month of February, this constellation rises around 8 p.m. in the northeast. It is on the meridian in the month of April, and in the month of October it sets around 8 p.m. As the name suggests, Saptarishi is a group of 7 bright stars. It is in the shape of a quadrangle with a tail made up of 3 stars. It thus resembles a kite and can be easily recognized. If we extend one side of the quadrangle, it reaches the pole star or Polaris. Different countries have different names for this constellation. In English, it is called the Great Bear. Second constellation, Sharmishta or Cassiopeia. You can see in the diagram how it looks like. The constellation of Saptarishi and Sharmishta or Cassiopeia are useful in locating the pole star. Sharmishta is made up of 5 bright stars and which are distributed along the figure of letter M. That means it resembles letter M. The perpendicular bisector of the line joining the 3rd and 4th stars in Sharmishta goes towards the pole star. You can see in the diagram, the pole star has Saptarishi on one side and Sharmishta on the other side. As Sharmishta sets, Saptarishi rises. Thus we can use either one or the other as a reference point on any given night. I hope I am clear with this concept of Saptarishi and Sharmishta. Thank you.